we go. The microphone is on. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you are watching VolcanoX live stream. And let's see, what do we got going on here today? Well, on screen you're seeing footage from Cumbre Vieja in La Palma, September 24th of last year. And I thought it would be a nice little change to throw something different up there for a little while. And wanted to bring this to light because, you know, recently we've been seeing all those lava bombs coming out of our good Fuego in Guatemala. So, hey, why not show some lava bombs from across the pond? And there we go. And let's see, why is it buffering for you, Sue? It shouldn't be buffering. It should be all good. Anyway, let's get at it. So first person in today was our wonderful Kevin Haynes. And Kevin gets the cookies. And there we go. And that is all good. So, and Cynthia popped in and said, Happy Wednesday. It is. It is a happy Wednesday. And, well, sort of. It is November the 2nd. And as I mentioned yesterday, it started to snow. And I did say that it would be snowing here for about 24 hours. And yes, it is still snowing, although be it lightly, it is still snowing. So my view here wasn't wrong. And yeah, so this transmission is coming to you from the Great White North, as we call it. And that is what we've got. Anyway, welcome everyone. Glad to have you on board. And let's get going with all these good people. First off, our wonderful moderators. Arizona Snowman, CND Boy, Piggy, and actually I should have said Piggy second. That would have been proper order, but anyway, that doesn't matter. Also, possibly on the background there, we probably have Gary 24/7 Live, VZ Skies, and possibly Joseph Fields, as well as what's his name? Mr. Lucas Snow. There we go. I got them all. And good day to everyone here, or good evening, or good morning, depending on where you are, since we are a worldwide stream, and we have people from all over the place. And what's he going live cam? Granzed, what do you mean live cam? We got nothing that's erupting like this in a live cam. I wish we did. I'd be on it like a dirty shirt or something like that. Maybe a clean shirt. Okay. And morning indeed. It is for you, I guess. And glad to have you on board, Granzad. Anyway, let's get saying hello to everyone here. Of course, we got Kevin Haynes already. And we'll say hi to Cynthia and Grandma B, Granzad, Sasha, Alba Girl, Henry Nelson, King Colin Deadman, Kevin Williams, Alba Girl. Oh, I think I said that already. John Raper is here. Welcome. Sarah Miles and Sue Hayes and Hermione Schaefer and Fluffy. At least I think Fluffy, if Fluffy reappeared, if Fluffy is still invisible, I can't help you. Going up a little bit more, seeing who else snuck in here that I haven't seen yet. Okay, got Hermione. Sophie is here. Welcome, Sophie. And we got King Colin already. Going up a little bit more, and we're just about at the end of my canned lava. I see. Maybe we'll see. I can't remember how long that file is, but we'll have to hurry up here before it runs out. I hate when those cans have a hole in them. Anyway, going up a little bit more, we got Let Freedom Ring. Yeah, let's not do too much advertising in my stream, okay? Would be nice. Old Mummy of Hamsters is also here, as well as John Raper, and going up a little bit more, looking for other good names. Thor is back. Welcome from Denmark. And let's see, who else came in here? Lizoid. And Echo the Bot, Echo the Bot, Echo the Bot. And that's the end of my canned lava, my canned lava, my canned lava. I don't know what to do, what to do. Okay, enough of the echo. That's contagious, contagious, contagious. Oh boy, now I'm starting something bad here. Kirst Chaplin also in the house. Welcome, Kirst. And let's see if we can find a different canned lava while I'm doing this. We really didn't have that much other good stuff in here. What's this one? I'll see if this one will work for us. And let's push that up here. Yeah, that's Iceland though. Let's, yeah, we can put that on. We'll get rid of that. Get rid of that date. And we'll back on. I turned the wrong one on? No, I turned the right one on. All right. Oop, I went and clicked the wrong button here. Grandma B gifted 1 membership, and let me get that written down. Grandma B, and thank you for gifting 1 membership there. That is awesome. Scott in North Carolina, I think, welcome. And let's see, who else we've got on board here. Where was I? I was scrolling upward. Why is it saying I need to open a widget all of a sudden? I'm widgeting enough. Why do they want me to open a widget? My software is telling me things and I don't need to know. Okay, we got Kirst, still going up from there, looking for other wonderful names. Got Lizoid already. Sasha we got, I think. And Old Mummy of Hamsters we got. Welcome anyway, if I didn't say so. And no, I am at the top there, can't find anyone else. And it's still telling me to open a widget. What the heck is going on here? YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth. Oh, now it says your current bitrate is 4726, which is 26 over what we're normally sending, is a lower than recommended bitrate. Oh, since when? They tell us to be over 4,000, and I don't get it. All right, something going on here. Maybe I'm going to have to crank up the bit rate and see what happens. I don't know why all of a sudden it's telling me that. It's kind of strange. It's new software, by the way. I upgraded the XSplit software, and it's fine there, Grandma B. Excellent. Glad that it is. Okay, so anyway, more bits. Yep, bacon bits is what we need. More bacon bits. And going south. I'd like to be going south right now. Far enough south to get out of the snow. Anyway, for those who are just joining, yeah, we did get possibly about 15 centimeters of snow since this started yesterday, and that is all in one dump. And yeah, that's a lot of snow, guys. It really is, and it makes for a fun time out there on the roads and stuff. But anyway, let's get on to real things here. I'm gonna actually stop that canned lava, and we'll go somewhere else here. Let's go to Iceland, since that's what we were looking at, and hopefully this will switch real quick. And it's been kind of weird today. Things are delayed on my computer. And I've just done an update, so I don't understand what the heck is going on. Mind you, it's new software, some of it, and that really makes a guy wonder sometimes if they load up extra stuff in there that really doesn't need to be working. Toasty Iceland, yep, there it is. Let's take a look at what it was like about 7.5 hours ago, though. And that was what the scene was of our wonderful Reykjavik, capital city of Iceland. And the mountains in the background got some foggy clouds sitting right on top of them. So pretty cool. And yeah, relatively a cold day there from what we've seen. This, of course, is the other view. And I'll try to go back about the same amount of time here, 7.5 hours roughly. And there we are. That's the other side of Reykjavik, where the airport is. And this airport, by the way, in case there's ever major stuff going on at the other airport, this one would be used in case of emergencies and stuff like that for commercial flights. So if, like, say, there's a volcano or something over there at Keflavik Airport, they'll land the planes here. The runways apparently are long enough, but the runways over at Keflavik are a little bit longer because of some of the other wonderful jets and stuff they've got going in there. Anyway, I'm going to put that back onto a live. Let's go take a look at our not Keflavik, how about Katla area, and we'll take a look at what it looks like there. And that is the scene today, and that's again about 7.5 hours ago. There we can see the ice-covered area behind the mountain ridge here, and of course that is where Katla lives. And it is a beautiful thing. We don't see anything erupting though, so that is pretty good for the most part. Sophie says domestic airport. Yep, it is the domestic airport, but they also fly domestic flights out of Keflavik as well, as I had noticed and was told. So yep, that's correct, Colin. And the runways are long enough for B-52s to take off on from. Yep. And actually, since the hostilities are kind of over there for right now, I can talk about while I was over there, talking with some of the U.S. Air Force members for both. I can't tell you the aircraft, but it's kind of a new one. Anyway, they were there, and as well as the stealth aircraft and stuff like that. And there's quite a few of the boys there. So boys and girls, or guys and gals, if you want. But they were all on their missions, and some of them were coming back, some of them were leaving, and it was really quite interesting to chat with them about where they were and what they were doing. And it's very, very unique there in Iceland for them to be able to use that as a base. And since this is well over a year later, I can, say, hey, they were there. And I did promise I wouldn't say anything for the time being. They told me just keep it hush for about 6 months and we're good. So yeah, there was quite a few military people there while I was there in Iceland, and there were a lot of aircraft taking off and landing, a lot. It was just incredible the amount that they actually had going through there. So a busy place at times, that wonderful Iceland at Keflavik. And F-22s land there quite often and refuel on their way to UK and Europe. Yeah, they do. and so do the air tankers and everybody else. There's some wonderful aircraft that they had sitting there, so really cool. Yeah. Anyway, this, like I said, well, hey, what happened to our screen? All right, they reverted back to what it was. Anyway, that was Keflavik there, and that is kind of the way it is, and or was about 7.5 hours ago. We'll put it back to live. It is dark there now, and of course I'm going to put this one back on live as well so I can find this later. Let's pop over to the harmonic tremor chart. And did I say hi at Arizona Snowman? Billy Bob Joe, I don't know if you said hi to them, to the snowman, but welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. Anyway, let's refresh our chart real quick. By the way, my headache subsided quite a bit overnight, and only a little bit this morning, so I am feeling a little bit better today. There's our chart for Philadelphia, and we can see downward trend, not happy, but hey, it is what it is. It looks like we've got a couple of spikes in here, small quakes somewhere around. We'll take a look at where those are right away. I did want to pop back up to Astja and see what that chart looks like. And we'll have a look. There is Astja. And we are seeing fairly quiet in the morning, some small stuff, and then it got bigger later in the evening, so afternoon and evening. And kind of wonder, are we seeing an uptick? It does certainly look like it's going up. But we'll see what happens. We'll take a look at the earthquakes in that zone or region right away. Let's go down and we'll have a look at Grimsey as well. Grimsey, of course, being the most northern portion there. And we are seeing Grimsey is kind of going up, and the blue is holding steady, and we're seeing a little bit of an incline increase here in our extremely low frequencies and the middle range ones as well. And not sure if that's indicating some more tectonic action, and that might be what it is. We don't see too many big spikes in here, so likely not that many earthquakes in that area. For Grimsey up on the northern end, and a real quick peek at Grindavik, and we see the downward trend as well. We also see a couple of earthquakes right in here on that spike. So we're going to have to take a look and see what our earthquake map is telling us. And let's pop back up and put it on Philadelphia. There we go. And we'll get it over to this one. And got to get on the right screen here. And they're all mixed up again, by the way. Okay, let's start out down here. We see the culprits. These weren't here last time I checked. So fairly fresh. This is 2056, 3.1 in magnitude, 5 kilometers down for him. And then the other one is a 2.9, and that's only 1.1 kilometers down, 2056 as well. That came in at 08 when the other one come in, 27. So about 19 seconds between them. I'm sure one caused the other one. And that would be what we're seeing right there out in the water. And let's take a look and see what we've got in our area. Oop, and speaking of Keflavik Airport, there it is there. And there's the town of Keflavik, Reikensbar, Yardvik. And then, of course, when we zoom in over here, this is the location of the Blue Lagoon and the power plant. And there's a hotel there. And then, of course, if we go down the road here, we get to the wonderful town of Grindavik. And that is where that is located. Anyway, let's take a look at these smaller quakes that we had here. 0.8, 3 kilometers down, 2056 as well for him. That was a little bit after the bigger one there, after the 3.1, so a few seconds later. This one here, 1.6 from 2103 and 3.4 kilometers down for him. And we are not seeing anything happening at Eruption or Siggy. So nothing at Ragnar, nothing at Siggy, and very, very quiet in that area. K-Lear is up here, and this guy is just on the outskirts of our area. That is a 1.07, 7.54 kilometers down, 435 this morning for that one. Moving over a little bit, here's one down by our little peninsula there that we always seem to see the shakers at. Came in at 12 noon, 1.79 and 3.5 kilometers down for him. And then there's a 0.2, 6.4 clicks down from 1656. And a couple little 0.3s here, 5.5 kilometers down for this one from 1801. And the other one is from 2:12 a.m. and that is 9.9 kilometers down. Moving over a little bit more, don't want to forget these guys out in the water here. We got 1.8, 5.2 clicks down from 1349 for that guy, and a magnitude 1, 5.2 kilometers down from 1:11 a.m. And next one here, why is it right on the highway? Maybe car crash? No, 0.5, 5.6 kilometers down. That's too deep for a car crash. 6:21 a.m. And let's see, little guys here, 0.1, 8.2 clicks down, 2037 for that guy, and a 4.9 kilometers down from 1828. Moving over a little bit, is that Hecla? Yeah, it is. Right next to Hecla, a magnitude 0.1 and 7.5 kilometers down for him from 1409. We also see this one out here, that is a 1.3, 6.2 kilometers down from 2047. And let's zoom into this area a little bit. The unpronounceable name there, and that is 1.7, 5.2 kilometers down from 3:59 a.m. for that guy. And then he had a friend here from 11:58, 0.8, 5.2 clicks down. Don't think that's going to make much of a difference for them. And then we've got from 7:38 a.m. 1.8, 5.2 kilometers down, 1.6 from 5.4 kilometers down, 12:32 for him. And this one, 7:39 a.m., magnitude 1.4, 5.2 kilometers down again. And this one here, 0.6, 2.8 clicks down from 2054. And what else we got here? Let's get a couple more of these in. Magnitude 1, 5.2 kilometers down, 1327. 0.6, 3 kilometers down, 1304. Another magnitude 1, 5.2 kilometers down, 1149 for that guy. Let's, of course, this is Katla right here. And let's take a look at the 2.3. And again, 5.2 kilometers down, 1631 for that guy. And 3:21 a.m., 1.8, 5.2 clicks down. Let me get, I was going to say this one's likely 5.2 kilometers too, but it's only 1.1 kilometer down. It's a 1.2 in magnitude from 11:44 a.m. And what else we got right there? 0.9, 9.6 kilometers down, 14:01 was the time on him. And then we got a 0.2, 8.7 kilometers down from 1:09 a.m. We also have down here another 1.2, 5.2 kilometers down from 12:51. Zoom back out a little bit, and I don't think we're going to see anything pop there just yet. Let's go over here. Grimsvatn has nothing today. And looking at what we've got right here, a 2.13 and a 1.7 kilometers down, 5:28 a.m. For that guy. This one is 1719.7, 2 kilometers down. Then we also have this 0.4, and that is 1.1 kilometer down from 9:01 a.m. That is Bardabunga right there. So maybe we'll see something there, but I don't think so. 7-minute warning. Okay, Piggy, I got it. Thank you. Let's see, what do we got going on? Grenzed is leaving, magnitude 1 for a car crash. No, well, you never know. Depends on who's driving, Sophie. If it's Irish Monk, he can get it up to about a 3. Anyway, that's all right. 1619 was the time on this 0.3, 5.2 kilometers down for that one. And then we've got a 0.4, 2.9 kilometers down from 1435, and a very small 0.1, 5 kilometers down from 1915. And that is interesting. And now we get a little closer to our Herderbreed, and Herderbreed is still buried in a relatively large amount of quakes. I did notice the amount of quakes did go up, and we are at 359 quakes today. So a little extra activity, and that is interesting. Anyway, we're going to grab a couple of these on the bottom here just to see what kind of depth we've got. 1.15, 2.4 kilometers down from 1246. And then right beside him, we've got a 1.1, 4.5 clicks down, 1800 is the time on that. Another 1.1, 10.6 kilometers down from 9:42 a.m. And what about these smaller friends? 5.2 kilometers down for this magnitude, 0.6, 43 minutes after midnight. The 0.7, also 5.2 kilometers down from 22:58. Makes you wonder what we got going on there. It's kind of weird depths. 2.38, 1.7 kilometers down, 2100 was the time on him. 2:42 a.m., 1.36, and 2.6 kilometers down there. Let's see. No, we don't want to bother with the zeros. Let's find some bigger ones in here. And of course, we were watching as things have been migrating from up here and down to this area here. And it seems to be that we are seeing a lot more fresh quakes right in this area. But they also seem to be at varying depths, and that is kind of weird. Anyway, this 2.03, 3.9 kilometers down from 2111. Let's grab some of these other ones. 0.74 kilometers down, 2311 for him. This is an older one, 1.07, 4.4 kilometers down, 6:17 a.m. Then a 1 over here, 3 kilometers down, 15:36 for him. This 1.1, 3.6 clicks down, and 21:13 for that guy. 1.6, 3.6 clicks down, 1922. We'll just grab some randomly here. 2.5 kilometers down for that, magnitude 1 from 1825. And let's grab just something. We'll see a 0.9 here. 1.8 kilometers down, so a little shallower. 2242 for him. Let's check his neighbors out. 2.4 kilometers down, 0.4 from 1301 right there. And let's see, what else we got? Older one, 0.5, 2.1 clicks down, 2:43 was the time on that. And the list goes on. I mean, we've got lots of quakes here. 2.1 kilometers down for this 1.9. 20:55 for him, and we got a 0.7, 1.1 clicks down. That's a little shallower, 46 minutes after midnight. Let's check a few more in that spot. 5.2 clicks down for that 0.5 from 1400. 1.7, 1 kilometer down from 2316. And what we got here, 2.8 clicks down for this 0.2 from 1119. And what else? We'll grab this guy. That's a little deeper again, 5.3 kilometers down for that 0.4. And thank you, Peggy, for the 3-minute warning. 15:32 was the time on that one. And it kind of makes you wonder, so what do we got going on here? You know, because we're seeing some very low, some very high, and then everything in between as well. Anyway, 0.85, 3.1 kilometers down from 1322. Let's go out here, 5.2 clicks down for that one from 1340.7 in magnitude. And yeah, that leaves people a little bit on the wondering side. What do we got going on there? Anyway, we're going to grab a couple more up here near Grimsey. There's the island of Grimsey when we talk about the northern point here, and that is what we're seeing. We did have 2.23 right there, 14 kilometers down, very deep, and that happened at 1340. Then we have this next one, 1151, 2.62, 11.8 kilometers down, another 2.6 here, 4.7 kilometers down, 1151 was the time on him. The 1.7, 5.2 clicks down from 1550. 1.3 right there, 5.1 kilometers down. Makes you wonder what's going on. And little guys up here in comparison, 1.4, 1.6 kilometers down, and that is from 2036. Then we've got another very shallow one, 1.5, 1.5 kilometers down, 1.3 in magnitude, 1304. And let's do this one, 1.2, 5.2 clicks down, and 5:06 a.m. The other one is just a 1 in magnitude, and 5.2 kilometers down, 1309. And I'm sure there's a few others on here. I don't see the other quakes listed. There's another quake up top here, and another one down on the bottom. I just want to go show those real quick, and we can actually see them on the map there, on the USGS map, and there you go. And that's kind of what they call the Norwegian Sea up here for this guy, and it was a 4.2, so that's telling us we got something is moving. You know, either the North American plate or the Eurasian plate is moving, and that is why it's out in the middle of nowhere. And that, of course, 4.2 from 6:16 a.m., 10 kilometers down. We also see this one here on the mid-Atlantic ridge, 4.7 from 32 minutes after midnight, 10 kilometers down for that one. And that is it for the earthquakes there. By the way, we'll just point at this one. I know it's break time, but just wanted to show this one out here in the middle of nowhere, okay, and the Pacific Ocean. And this, to me, just makes no sense. All of a sudden, we've got a 6.0, and that happened at yesterday at 22:53, 10 kilometers down. It makes no sense why we would have a quake right there. So kind of weird. But speaking of quakes, one more to talk about real quick before I go to the break. This one over here, Piggy, of course, is here, and they had this 4.8 off the coast of Turkey to the south, and it came in at 11:41, 55.6 kilometers down, and yes, Piggy did feel it. So that, of course, is not that far away from Kos. Here's the island of Kos. So she heard that or felt it. And there was also a couple little tremors right in here, but they're not showing on this map, which is all right. Anyway, we'll get back to our stuff here. I don't know where I'm going to stick you for right now. That canned lava. I don't know. I suppose I could rewind that, and we'll let that play through again. Or hang on, maybe I'll put the other one back on. Well, I'll let that run, and we'll see. Yep, that went back to the beginning. So, no, hang on. Yeah, that's good for 8 minutes anyway on this one. I think I might have started the wrong one earlier. Because, no, I didn't. I got the right one. Never mind. Let's get rid of that big banner, and we'll turn that on, just so you know when it's from. All right, Crete gets snow. What? Crete gets snow? How does that happen? And you don't get any, even though you're closer to that cold turkey place. That's weird, Piggy. Anyway, I think it's break time, you guys. So please, if you are enjoying the show and you have not yet hit that like button, help us out. Our target, of course, is 100 or above. And that's what we're trying to achieve. That's when the YouTube analytics take off and take over really well. And also, if you're sitting on the sidelines, you want to get in here and chat, you're more than welcome to hit that subscribe button and jump on in after 1 minute, and we'll be good. So on that friendly note, here comes some music, and I'll be back. Don't go away. More to come. we go. A microphone is back on. Yep, Calgary is colder than Edmonton. And welcome, Kananaskis country. And for those people who actually don't know where Kananaskis country is, I'm not talking about the person here, but the real area that is called Kananaskis country. It is to the west and south of Calgary. And it is a beautiful, beautiful area. If you ever get into Alberta, please go down Highway 22 from the Highway 16 south all the way down to, I'd say, Highway 3, and I will guarantee you, you will be overjoyed. And make sure it's the daytime trip. Highway 40, well, you can get on Highway 40 there too, if in the summertime. But 22 though, going all the way down Cowboy Trail, a beautiful area, and it is absolutely gorgeous there, especially if you go on a nice hot summer's day. It is absolutely fantastic, and we enjoy that a whole bunch. So. Really, really cool. I remember the Calgary Olympics. Yeah, I remember them too. And that's all good. Anyway, yeah, let's get on to other stuff here. I'm gonna stop that canned lava. Hang on, I gotta find where it is. We'll try this one, and whoop, that didn't work. We'll stop that. Okay, and there we go. We stopped it, and we'll work on that one for next time. And let's go take a look at what's happening in Sicily. I did not make a time lapse because Sicily was, I don't know, kind of really not moving along very much. But let's take a look and see what we've got. So about 7 hours and 39 minutes ago, this is what we were seeing. And you see a single plume going out of some darker material there. And I don't know exactly which vent it's coming from, but right near the top. So that's what we were seeing. If we go back a little further, this is about 9.5 hours ago. Everything was kind of stagnant, and it was sitting on top of, right on top of the cone there. And even when we go back about 10.5 hours, you see how everything was just sitting there. And it kind of makes you wonder, so what the heck is going on? So our SO2 count should be fairly high for this area today. We'll see what happens. And of course, a little bit prior to that, the service for this stream wasn't working. But anyway, very hazy looking for the day. No real new activity, and that's kind of what we seen there. And this is the other view, of course. If we back that one up a bunch too, we can see what it looked like from a different angle. And then even earlier here, there we go. You see everything just kind of sat there, and till evening, and then it blew away. So we'll put that one back to live too. And very quiet for the most part. No major quakes or anything like that there in Italy or Sicily. And let's go over to the Azores. And of course, this is, we are on the island of São Jorge, or São Jorge, if you want to say it in Portuguese. And of course, that is what that shot looks like during the day. You see the harbor down in front and the town, and that is all lit up. And you see the town there, the harbor. And of course, the lights there, that's Pico Island, and you've seen the big mountain there. That is Pico Volcano, also known as Mount Montana. I don't know how it got the name Mount Montana, but it is. If my sister told me she was going, I would have been in BC, Alberta now, Kananaskis country, Dr. Fox. Oh, okay. Um, yeah. Well, it's a gorgeous area. Seriously. Go in the summer though. Winter time, it's not the place to be, especially well, let's just say the weather changes every 5 minutes, okay? And I mean, it is really weird. You will see rain and snow and the winds in that's the other thing. The Kananaskis country can be very, very windy, especially if you're up high somewhere, and it's due to the mountain shapes that are in the area, especially when you go down like right around Longview and that area. Basically, if you're getting out of the vehicle, you gotta look at signs and stuff like that before you step out, because you really don't want to open that door if the door is going to fly out of your hand and snap off. Okay, it can be really, really good. I like planks of wood on my feet. Oh, you want to be one of those shushing down the hill? Okay, I gotcha. Well, if you want to go skiing, Colin, you are more than welcome to it. I myself am not into that, so I'll leave that one be. I get enough shoveling snow. I don't need to ski on it. Anyway, probably an Indian native word for Sasha. What? Oh, Montana. Um, yeah, why would they name Pico Volcano Mount Montana? It doesn't make much sense, does it? Anyway, let's keep going here. I got to get myself on the right page. Holy mackerel. Here's the other shot. And of course, this is our little cove. And when we see that white water splashing in here, we know the ocean is fairly rough. And don't go out in your little boats. And of course, the area here, this is kind of a dock on the side. I do have the picture of during the daytime, but not from today. And that is this one here. And you can see what it looks like. Gives you a better idea. But we know that when we see that white water down on the bottom area here and along the sides, it's pretty rough, and you don't want to go out in the ocean. Anyway, quick peek at the earthquakes in the area, and they really haven't had any, and that is kind of amazing. So no earthquakes to report, and that makes me wonder. The last one, of course, was this one, a 2.0 from yesterday at 1736. So let's take a look at the other map. Maybe there's something else that shook, and we'll refresh that one just to confirm this. But it's odd to only see no quakes, or only see one really from yesterday. And looking at the map here, I don't think, oh, we do have another one. And there it is, and it is in the middle of that caldera 21 hours ago, 2.2. And oh, there's another one here 24 hours ago at 2.0. Those are the only two that we see there for right now. And of course, this is the Eurasian plate, African plate on this side, and there's your Canary Islands there. And then of course this here is your North American plate. So that is what we've got. Zoom back in, and we want to slide down to that chart a little bit and see. So the 2.2, the newer one, was 1 kilometer down. The other one was right at the surface, and that's what we see on the chart here today. And that's it for the Azores. So we can leave the Azores be. Very quiet, nothing major to get panicked about, and that is kind of nice. Let's go over to Popocatépetl and see how our volcano gray is doing. As soon as I find it, where is it? where is my Popocatépetl? That's not Popocatépetl. This is. All right, there we go. That looks better, and we'll actually before we get into Popocatépetl, we'll just do a couple other ones here that are kind of interest, and thanks Sue for sending those over. So our guy here in central Chile, Villarrica volcano. It was throwing out some more lava, or as it says here, vigorous lava fountains. Upper flank showered with glowing lava fragments, or tephra, and that was pretty awesome to kind of see the pictures of it. But that is, basic information, just saying it's kind of a Strombolian activity. Has been picking up at the crater in late October. So that is what we're seeing there. We may see more stuff coming from that particular volcano. Moving on a little bit, another one that is of interest to us is Shivalish. And that, of course, is on the Kamchatka Peninsula. And Shivalish is actually doing very well and doing its thing. I did get the picture a little bit bigger there, and you can see how big that plume is coming out of it. So quite interesting, quite unique, and makes a guy wonder, so what the heck is going on there? What else did I have in there? Oh, I have Eruption. And that is the other one. And since they were kind of talking about Eruption was reactivated a little bit, and definitely some active lava showing in some of those areas. There you can see just a little tiny plume coming out of the crater that has formed inside the lava pond. And there it is with a little bit more of a close-up view. And yeah, I don't know how many people they sacrificed to get it to go again, but it is definitely doing its thing. So that is kind of the sideline ones I wanted to throw in there. And again, thank you, Sue, for sending me the information on those. And that is pretty cool and awesome. Okay, I'm back on, the volcano gods. Yep, sacrifices. Everybody's got to make a sacrifice here and there. Anyway, let's go back a whole bunch of time, and we're going to go back about 11 and a half hours. And this is 6:14 a.m. We can see kind of a haze moving over top of the volcano. And that's not from the volcano, that's on the surface of it. And I'm wondering if it's evaporation of all that snow that we seen there. Not too much activity out of Popocatépetl today. A little bit of smoke here and there, but nothing major. And yeah, you can definitely see the smoke coming out of here. That's actually steam, and what that is the snow melting, and some of the kind of cracks or indents here. Of course, holding some more of that moisture, and now that it's getting heated up by the sun, it's starting to evaporate. So pretty cool. And moving on a little bit, you can see most of it is dissipating. We do see up on the top, as we get closer to noontime, we see a little bit more activity from the cone, but we're not seeing any major bursts till about here. There's a little bit of a burst here, and then we'll see something come up out the back, and that is at 1:15 in the afternoon. So there's our first sign of dirty stuff. Most of it is fairly clean and light, and this is a little bit on the darker side. So it may be reigniting again and working on stuff. So pretty cool and quiet for the most part. Here's another one that is from about 3 p.m. Really no ash or anything like that in there, just a lot of steam and bad gases. And so, yeah, we got bad gas. Popocatépetl has bad gas. Something's burning. Yep, it is. Moving on, though, let's go over to Fuego. And, of course, Fuego is doing its thing as well, hiding in the volcanic clouds there. Volcano gray, our favorite color, right? And let's take a look at earlier this morning. Come on. Why is it doing what it's doing? All right. Okay, I'm just advancing at 5 seconds at a time here. I'm trying to get it to the burst, and that should be any second there. And we'll try. There we go. Okay, so look at the size and chunks of magma coming out of there, or tephra. That is incredible. Some of those are bigger than cars. And watching them splat down on the side of that mountain is just incredible. That was a massive explosion, and that was really, really nasty. So you kind of got to wonder, so what the heck is this volcano doing? It's saving up and blowing them out. And that was pretty awesome. Lot of material ejected at that time. And here's another one. This is about 13 hours ago, 4:55 a.m. And you can see it bubbling and churning. And then all of a sudden, boom, we get another major spill of lava, magma, and tephra material shooting out of there. So pretty nasty. And there it goes. Starts pouring down the side of the hill. And I wish this was in color, because that would show that bacon so nicely. Thank you for the 5-minute warning, Sue. And all good. And let's just advance that a little bit. Oh, there's the bigger blast. And again, very, very large pieces of tephra and magma coming out of there. Or the lava, I should say. And it's a dangerous area if you're close by. I don't think you want to be anywhere on that mountain when it's doing that. So pretty awesome though, and nice to be able to see. Here's another one, and this one is not too far away from the other ones. 5:12 a.m., 5:13. There we go. And it does look pretty cool though to see the material coming out in very, very large chunks, and makes a guy wonder, why. And here's another one. This is 5:13, so about a minute later it did it again, and it's huge, bigger than a house. I don't know about bigger than a house, those chunks, but they are definitely the size of an SUV or something like that, if not a little bit bigger. It's hard to tell because we're so far away, and the brightness on the black and white here gets distorted really easily that way. So, it is a beautiful sight though, we gotta admit. And let's see another one here after it just finished cooling off a little bit. The thing I was noticing though, it's starting to reshape the top caldera piece up top. We'll see how that turns out. And yeah, there were some clouds moving in, unfortunately, but lots and lots of tephra coming out of there, and that is pretty cool. And there was another blast. There we go. I just moved it 10 seconds ahead, and this is how it kept going. So very Strombolian-like eruption, and then it's turned into a kind of a strato eruptive scenario there, and kind of interesting to see that. Anyway, we get closer to daylight, and I wanted to see in the daylight hours where it switched if we got some color images of lava, and I think we did just right around here. We should be able to see it, and I'll just let it play here for a second. If you watch right around here, you should be able to see a little bit of lava. Oh, it's over on the other side. My bad. But yep, definitely see some colored lava there. And that is the material it's throwing out, you guys. And that is a little bit better. And yep, a fire in the hole. And definitely, I think that's the most I've ever seen it do in one shot here in color. And that looks pretty awesome. So, yep, definitely some bacon this time. And we have seen that. And then after that, it took a little bit of a breather, and then, of course, it was a little further down the road before it erupted again. You've seen the extra lava streaming out of there. So, you know there's a lot of material up on the top of that thing. Fabulous fuego. And let's just do one more here, and then, oh, I want to back that up. There we go. That was a heck of a blast. And again, this... you know, these blasts that are coming out of there, they're coming out in different directions, and that to me is a little confusing. What has it done to the top of that caldera on the other side? I really would love to see it, and well, I maybe have to try to find some satellite shots or something that are current. But anyway, that is Fuego. One more here, and we'll take a break. I want to actually let that go. There we go. And wow. So those ones are the ones, of course, what I mentioned before. When you see a blast coming out at that speed, that's when you want to look for volcanic lightning. Now, of course, it being daytime, it's a lot harder to see, but the material being ejected out so quickly will cause polarization of atoms in there, and it will create positive and negative areas, and then all of a sudden, zap, you see volcanic lightning. Welcome to Storm Chaser 1211, as well as Mary Jane and Linda Schoof is here. Welcome. And I think Robert and Chandel also here. Welcome. I'm glad to have you guys all on board. Okay, break time, and after the break we are going to have our wonderful bacon seeds, and I don't know, is there more blasts after this? Yeah, there's a few. I think what I'll do is I'll move it ahead a little bit, and I'll let it sit here and shake, and you'll be able to enjoy a couple more shots out of this while I am on break. So don't go away, you guys. And oh, hang on, I might have to move it up a little bit more here, somewhere around here. We'll see. Anyway, I'll leave it on here. It should be blasting any minute, and I'll let it do its thing. It is time for me to go for a break, you guys, and just to let you know, if you are enjoying the show, we do try to get our likes over that 100 mark. YouTube analytics really does take off at that point in time, so it would be awesome if you can hit the like button if you haven't done so already, and it is, of course, the cheapest and most economical way to help out and support the stream. Also, for those other people who are sitting on the sidelines, if you want to join in and chat in the chat box and you're not subscribed yet, it only takes 1 minute, and then you can get in there and do your thing as well. On that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, the Great White North. And I will be back in about 5 or 6 minutes, and then we'll have some bacon seeds, and that'll be cool. I'll be back, you guys. Keep smiling. Thanks. And the microphone is back on. Welcome or welcome back, everyone. Glad to have you all on board. I see Kevin Haynes just threw in a gift membership. Thank you very kindly, Kevin Haynes. And thank you for the welcome backs from Kevin Williams and Sue and Piggy and the Lavely Dr. Fox. Why, thank you. Yeah. And Kevin Haynes, of course, and Linda Schoof, and John, and Sasha, and Hermione, and Colin, and did I miss anyone? I hope I got you all. Anyway, great to be back on here, and we'll continue on with what we're doing. And, King Colin, and Hermione, and Hermione and Fluffy. Hopefully Fluffy is listening to the show. That's one of our wonderful pets that we like having around. And welcome to Philomena. Glad to have you on board, Philomena. And thanks for being here. Wow, this is for the one that didn't go through before. Oh, why, thank you, Linda. That is an awesome super chat. And thank you very, very kindly for that $20 super chat, and that is very kind. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that, Linda. And it went through this time. I see it, and that is awesome. So very, very good. And thanks. Anyway, as you see, what I left it on here on Fuego, and of course you can see the continual off-gassing and spouting that it's doing, that it was doing this morning. And right now, of course, Fuego is in the clouds. If we go ahead to where it is, at least it was last time I checked. It's actually got clear, and I'm surprised at that. We might even see a sunset. Yes, we'll get to bacon seeds in a minute. Just wanted to go back here. And I didn't realize it had cleared up a little bit, and we might even see some lava pop out of there if it stays in color long enough, and maybe it doesn't have any lava left. It used everything this morning, so that might be what the problem is. All the good stuff is gone, and just little plumes, but and we did see kind of a nice sunset there, so that is pretty awesome. There you go. That is kind of a nice silhouette of that volcano. And if we go back, to just about live, we do see that it is still spitting out a bunch of stuff. Unfortunately, it already went to black and white, so we don't see the true lava colors that we'd love to. John Raper saying good night to you all. Thanks, Dr. Fox, for another interesting night, and thanks. Okay, you are welcome, sir, and glad to have you on board. And good evening, Kim Raudenbush. Good to have you on board. Let's get over to bacon seeds. We'll go back to Fuego afterwards. Anyway, that was the last bale, I guess, that we seen yesterday, and that was the last bacon seeds we had. So let's take a look at today's, and we don't have that many, so, and there is our first bacon seed of the day, and I think we really needed the hogwash for these guys. They look like they've been out running around and doing their thing, so pretty awesome. And hi, Kim Raudenbush, and that's the recycle for empty Pepsi bottles sneak in the kitchen. What is he doing with my empties? Hogwash required, you bet, Piggy. Next bacon seed is, hold it, this is a pig imposter. I think this is an imposter. I don't believe that this is a real pig. I mean, I do see ears, I see a snout, I see eyeballs, I see feet, but there is still something wrong with this picture. I don't know. this just, it's a squash pig. Yeah, Linda got it right. A squash pig. And it's an imposter. Peglies. Yeah. Anyway, next wonderful bacon seed is the race. And of course, this is one of those obstacle, I don't know if it's an obstacle course, but it is a race. And they're going for the finish line. Looks like the one in the second one from the left is ahead by a couple of snouts and making it. And the other ones are having some trouble navigating through the water obstacle there. But running of the pigs, yep, that happens, and that is pretty awesome. Pig races, I never knew they had pig races. I know they have running of the bulls, but hey, why not? And why not have pigs do it too? Pig Olympics, there you go. And these guys were all screaming. They want to get out of pig jail. They're in pig jail. They went to the Pig Olympics, and they were caught for steroid use. So they are in pig jail. Unfortunately, we're not going to let them out. Yeah, caged in. They need to come clean, and that is pretty good. I don't know why they're locked up, but there's a whole bunch of them there, and they're all very interested in something or other and not looking directly at the camera. So must be somebody with food there. At least that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. Hecklers in the stand? Oh, possibly. Could be. Anyway, let's carry on to the next muncher here. And I think this one is having some cabbage fun. I guess enjoying a little bit of cabbage. They watch, they watching the races. I get it. So they're behind the protective barrier in case there's a crash, right? That makes more sense. And anyway, yep. Think of your cabbage rolls next time and envision this. So if you have cabbage rolls, yeah, pig what? Pigalicious? Pigalicious, yeah. Okay, I guess they like it. And our last bacon seed for today is this one, and it is a very nice looking bacon seed. No hogwash required for that one. I see he's sleeping with a friend just over on the right-hand side there, but definitely cute as all get out, a little pig. And he's kind of gray in color, pink ears, and really a nice-looking guy. Very, very awesome. So those are our bacon seeds for today. Wow, there's too many R's in there. I want this pig, this one. Okay. You know, he does look nice. I think he's got nice color. I think that'd be cool to have a pig like that. But Piggy, where would you keep him? Oh, let me guess. In your sty. Okay, lots of fun. Hope his house broke. And let's continue on with our wonderful not earthquakes, but volcanoes, and we'll see what we've got in the rest of the world. Moving over and going to Merapi, and we're going to see if Merapi will make us happy. And looking for that screen, there it is. Of course, volcano gray doesn't work for us. If we go back a little ways, it did kind of show up a little bit, and you can see in all three shots that we can see it is throwing up a pretty heavy-duty plume at that point. That was 6:03 a.m. But prior to that, it was back in the I don't know what we want to call it, soup. And that, I guess, for the most part, that's the only real way to describe it. You can't see a darn thing. And that's kind of what the problem is with that one. And let's go over to New Zealand for a second and take a look there. Ooh, nasty clouds in there, volcano gray type stuff. Let's see if we can see it at all. And I thought this morning we could for a little while when I was looking. And this is about 6 hours ago, 6 hours 15 minutes. And pardon me, hang on. All right. Anyway, very early in the morning, 6:14 a.m., you've seen a portion of it. So it is there. But prior to that, I don't think it was very visible at all. And after that, it wasn't visible much because of the clouds pulling in. So there is the top of Mount Ruapehu, and that is in New Zealand. Unfortunately, the present conditions don't let us see anything over there. And that is kind of what we got. So let's carry on. I'm going to put it back on Merapi, and we'll move over to the next one. This is Semeru, and that is on this page. Let's see if we can back that up a little bit. Semeru was looking pretty good in the clear earlier, and this is 6:45 a.m., and you can actually see the volcano. A little bit of plume coming off the backside there. I don't know if it really was doing too much. And a little bit of smoke coming out in the front here. I just noticed that as well. And other than that, I don't know if we had too much activity there. Going here, we do see some lava. This is at 4 a.m. or 4:08. And we can definitely see up on the top, we do have a pretty good glow up there, and then of course that is the spot where that other smoke was coming from, and there is a glow there as well. Looking pretty good. I have to do a lot tomorrow, going to sleep. Okay, Hermione, you have a good night, and take care, pleasant dreams, and lavely dreams. That is the appropriate thing. And good night to Fluffy too. And anyway, I'm going back a little bit more here, 2:10 a.m. That's kind of what we were seeing. It wasn't too bad, but still not the greatest. We do want to see more lava coming out of there, but hopefully the people in the area are okay with that. And prior to that, we were pretty much in volcano gray material all the way through. So let's put it back on live. That way I can find it later. And our next volcano to look at is Sakurajima. Sakurajima is in Japan. It is a very nice volcano, and it has a plume coming out looking pretty awesome. If we back up a little bit, and we can see what it was kind of doing. I did not see any major eruptions out of it today, at least not that I noticed. We do see some smoke and steam and everything coming out, so it definitely was active, but not very active. That is what, about 3 hours ago roughly. If we go back into the depths of the night, was looking for a glow, and I didn't seem to see very much there at all. So I think it's taking a little bit of a break and not doing a heck of a lot. And that is getting back into the previous day there, so 23:38 was the time, or 11:38. This is at 10:52 p.m. their time. And back a little more, and there we go. That's from 10:17, and again, still not seeing anything. So that is kind of where we're at with him. The ice cream boat is coming in, and there we can see it. So just in time, and hopefully you'll be able to get down there and get your ice cream. That's what everybody wants, or at least I wouldn't mind a nice, decent, soft ice cream cone, not made with that chemical stuff that McDonald's uses, but some real good stuff, and we like that. And let's see. So, yep, you can go down and get your ice cream. In the meantime, quick peek at the close-up shot. That is the crater of Sakurajima. And you can see most of that gassy material coming out of there. Does not look that dark or gray, and nothing like what we were seeing over at Fuego. And a flock of birds. There we go. Means the volcano is quiet. Otherwise, those birds wouldn't be very close to it. They will literally fly in the opposite direction if they know or feel that the thing is going to blow up a little bit. At least we would think. And let's pop over to our next one in Japan, and that, of course, is Aso. And Aso-san, looks like it's starting to rain at Aso-san. Either that or they've got some cobwebs hanging around. Oh, that's cobwebs. Oh no, the spider has been there. I better go check and see where my spider went. I put him back in the closet. We'll see. Anyway, we do see the caldera here of Aso, and we definitely see a bunch of steam coming out. And as I've mentioned before in the other streams, being a caldera or big bowl basically catches all that rainwater. Never seen a cob? You've never seen webs or cobwebs? Cobwebs. Only webs. Cobwebs. Wow, boy. Arizona snowman, you live a sheltered life. Cobwebs. Not cobwebs, but cobwebs. Anyway. I really, really don't like spider webs. I don't. They stick to you, and then the big monster spider comes out and eats you. They get their fangs into you. They inject some kind of poison that turns your insides into goo. Little girl asked me, what is a cobweb? Oh boy, it's an older expression. She's been looking for one. Oh, she's looking for cobwebs? Yeah, you don't want to be looking for them. They're not good to look at, and tell her there's big spiders attached to them, so you don't want to do that. Unless she's one of them. Corn on the cob? No. Corn in a cob. Corn cob. Cobwebs? Corn cob. Yeah, I guess it's the kind of the stringy hair that comes out of corn. And that's where it got its nickname from, if I recall correctly. But that's kind of weird. Yep, cob. Anyway, looking at the steaming, we do see it coming out of there very nicely. So pretty cool and interesting. Let's just double check over here. Ice cream boat is docked, so you are welcome to zip down the road there and around the curve, and then at the lights hang a left and get down there and get yourself an ice cream. Let's carry on and see if we can find other volcanoes, and maybe we'll go to Taal. Taal is working today, so there is Taal. It is not really doing anything. We see a little bit of a plume sitting up top and some off-gassing, but not a heck of a lot. Very hazy there, of course, and again, it being a very humid place, that is to be expected. So that's what we've got going on there. And it is break time, you guys, so I am going to go take a break. I'll throw some of that canned lava back on here. I just want to make sure I'm on the right file. And yep, lots for the break in that can, and we'll let that run. Let's see, where are we at? We're at 88 likes. Hopefully we'll get some more likes. That would really be awesome. Love to see that go up and over that 100 mark, and that would be really super cool. So for those good people who are here, if you are listening on the outside, you haven't subscribed yet, and you are enjoying the show, by all means hit that subscribe button if you feel we've earned it. On that friendly note, I'm your host, Dr. Fox, and I'm here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, where we call it the Great White North now, and it snowed lots. I'll be back, you guys. Don't go away. Thanks. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. The microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you are watching VolcanoX live stream. Thank you for the welcome back from Sue Hayes and an oink oink from Arizona Snowman. Thanks, Kevin and Sasha as well. Awesome, and glad that we're back here. And Trevor T of Winky Wonky Donkey also here. And thanks, Dr. Foxy. Mona Alfano, I gotta run. Thanks for the show, Dr. Fox. Mona, oh, I gotta go. I thought you said I gotta run. Oh, you gotta go. Okay, I hope you go safely and be good. And good night to you, Mona. And I understand late over there, so kind of gotta do what you gotta do. And let's park our canned lava, and we will go over to other places. We did take a look very quickly at the other one. Oh, let's see what this one is doing. Let's see if that works. Oh, they already moved it. Darn it! I was hoping that'd be able to see that big stuff coming out. Anyway, it is getting dark there in Yellowstone National Park. That's what we're looking at. They do have over 500 active geysers in that park, and of course they do show Old Faithful every once in a while when it's erupting. We did miss the eruption, so I'm not going to be able to see that today, but just wanted to make you aware. If you wanted to get this particular website, you can type in Jellystone or Yellowstone. Either one of those will work and bring you up the link for that area, and that is pretty cool. Let's head over to Hawaii next, and we'll see what we've got cooking there. And let me get onto that page. So 2341 last night, that is what we were looking at as far as our lava pond. That is in the Kilauea crater, and that is what it looked like. This is the end where the lava comes in via a lava tube, and these bright areas are where there's gas bubbles bubbling up as the lava is draining back down and out of that lava pond. And that is pretty cool. We don't see very much of the atoll area here right now, so I'm not sure if that is going to eventually disappear or just become part of the big pond, as that has been breaking up somewhat on the edges. So let's refresh that picture, and we'll take a look at what it is right now. And there we go. And yeah, it does kind of look like we're going to end up starting to consume everything in the area. Again, you can see where the lava tube is allowing the lava to flow in, and as it kind of butts up against the other pieces here, it changes direction slightly, and that's why you see the lines being a little bit askew, and some interesting patterns that have developed in there. We do see some bright lava in this area, and again, that's the gases bubbling up. Same thing with along the edges here, and that's where it's draining out. The toe area definitely looking smaller and smaller all the time, and it looks like we've got tree rings around it showing its age. So anytime you see rings around something, you know there's age involved, right? I know, that's bad analogy. Anyway, looking at the edges here, they are continuing to crumble. I'm still waiting for this whole piece to drop in, and it looks like it probably will within a week or so. We'll see what happens. Lots of big cracks, and that is telling us this whole area in here is kind of slumping down a bit, and could be potential for breaking off in the future as well. There are also cracks going across here, a little harder to see, but you can see it, and it's a good indicator that this piece as well could break off and eventually end up drowning Should I explain the meaning of cobwebs? Well, I did drop the thing about the cobwebs, but if you want to throw something in, Philomena, you're more than welcome to, and that's all right. Anyway, let's carry on, take a look at the next shot. This, of course, from last night again, and we'll refresh that in a second. This is from the other side of the caldera, though. There's your primary vent there, and of course the lava pond. Toe area not even visible in this shot. We do see a couple other spots. Let's refresh that. We'll see what it looks like right now. And that is the present daytime picture. Primary vent there. You can actually see a little bit of a shadow right down there. That's where the lava tube is allowing the lava to come in and fill up that lava pond. Pig Island right here. That smoker's still going over here. Same thing with the one behind Pig Island. And we are guesstimating that these are just a couple of hot spots there that are trying to keep themselves going. Eddie Oturo, welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. And let's take a look at the thermal images. And this, of course, from last night. Primary vent there. There's your hornito and the lava tube being underneath here. We don't see. But the lava pond is right there. A little bit of a glow still out of that toe area. Going to refresh that. We'll see what it looks like right now. And less glow in the toe area, less glow in the hornito here, but we do see a little spot on the primary vent, and looks like a fairly decent lava in here. But, you know, looking at it, the level just hasn't been rising. Not like what we were seeing a month ago or so. And that is kind of makes you wonder, what do we got going on there, right? And hopefully something decent. And that's it for Kilauea. Let's go over and take a look. And unfortunately, the 4 a.m. picture of Mauna Loa's crater didn't work out. Let's take a look at it at present. 14:31 there right now when that picture was taken, and we do see that is just one huge caldera. We'll take a look and see. There's the thermal. I think I need to refresh that though, since that is the older one, and it may not allow to refresh. I'll have to pick it out again. All right, and if you type in Hawaii map, you can get this particular map, and of course that will help you out if you wish to take a look at any of these wonderful things. This is the current thermal, and that's what we're seeing from our wonderful Mauna Loa. So there it is, and that's not bad. These spots over here, darker areas, when you look at them in daylight, that is being warmed up by the sun. That's why they're that much brighter. That is not hot lava. But the other area, you can see where the cooler points are and the warmer points on that. But I don't think we're going to see any eruption today or within a week or anything like that. But hey, you never know. Anyway, let's put that back to someplace I can find, and then we'll get over to the earthquakes and have a quick peek and see what we've got for earthquakes there in Hawaii. And there we go. And again, that is just really freaky, that big earthquake out in the middle of nowhere. You know, I really have to wonder about that. That one was 6.0, and that was from yesterday at 22:53. Makes no sense in the middle of nowhere. But hey, we're on a dynamic planet, so it's going to do it whenever it likes. And let's have a look at our earthquakes for Hawaii. Of course, there's your island chain. Oahu there, Maui there, and of course the big island of Hawaii where most of the activity is. We'll grab this guy out here in the water first, since he's all lonely at 2.9 from yesterday at 22.58 and 62 kilometers down. So that is a fair distance down. Let's have a look at, well, maybe we'll grab this guy here too. 2.1 and 8:09 a.m. and is the time today at 10.6 kilometers down for him. We'll take a look also at this guy here at the bottom end of the outflow from Mauna Loa, 1.8 and magnitude 8:31 a.m. and that is 200 meters above sea level, so not too far away from the surface. Let's zoom in a little bit here, and our red one disappeared. It was right about here or here, we'll see. But let's have a look at these ones. 2.1, 5:45 a.m., 31.3 kilometers down for him. This one, 2.6, 3:20 a.m., and that was 33.8 clicks down. And let's grab these other ones on land now. 1.9, 14:13 was that one. Pahala area depths are somewhere between 26 and 37 kilometers, so that one happens to be 35.5. We'll just go through the other ones here. 1752 is this 2.1. The one very close to Pahala itself, 1.8. 1027, very, very small. Looking at this guy right on the shoreline, 3.2, and that was at 1:13 a.m., 36.7 kilometers down. Then we've got 2.0 from 1933, and then 2.3 from 3:41 a.m., a 2.0 from 8:23 a.m., 1.6 from 1717, 2.0 from 1:04 a.m., 2.4 from 15:20, 2.4 from 15:19, so a couple of them in there, 1.8 from 7:50 a.m., and then we've got a 2.0 from 7:59 a.m. Then we have a 2.3 right there, and that was 7:02 a.m. for that guy. Let's climb up on the hill. Not a heck of a lot to take a look at, and we see this 1.9, and that was at 13:05 or 1:05 in the afternoon, and that is 500 meters above sea level, into the mountain a little bit, but nothing major going on there. So the other ones are all older. Sliding down the hill and taking a look, there's our Kilauea, and this of course is 2.4 that we see on the side of the hill, 3:21 a.m., 8.2 kilometers down for him. And then we've got this 1.9 right in Kilauea, and that is from yesterday at 23:43, and it says 0.8 or 800 meters below sea level, and that's what we've got there. And that's it for earthquakes. We already got him, and kind of not really anything major or eventful happening there right now. I think the strangest and biggest one that I've seen, of course, well, I think there's a 6.1 on the board here somewhere as well, but this 6.0, again, in the middle of nowhere, kind of weird. Say, Dr. Fox, what about the big one there? This big one, is that the one you're referring to? We have an icy fog. You know, an icy fog. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It's weird. Why is it there? You know, there's nothing around it. There's a ridge here, and I don't know exactly what that fault line is, but I don't think that would affect this. And of course, it's kind of off the coast, the Baja here, quite a ways out. We do see a volcanic chain here, but and maybe something here, really old stuff. Makes no sense. Lots of sea mounds and volcanoes there. Yes, there are. If we actually go over to the ocean one, that might be a more ideal to have a look at it, and looking at what we're seeing here. So that's 30 miles. So closest old seamound is about 110 miles away, or that would maybe be somewhere around 160, 170 kilometers. So it really makes no sense. We do see this scratching in here. Don't know if that's a fault or if this is perhaps a fault here as well. Don't know. There is definitely something here. So kind of weirdish, but let's zoom out and carry on. Sliding down the coast a little bit. Everything in North America is pretty much normal. We do see off the coast of Guatemala 4.7, and that is from 1737 today, 81.2 kilometers down, and that might be what's helping Fuego go. And this one here in Peru, 4.6, 2306 yesterday, 145.7 kilometers down for that one. A couple smaller ones here in Chile. Well, this one is smaller anyway. 1619, 59 kilometers down for that 4.0. Then a 5.3 from yesterday as well. 2037. 109 kilometers down. We also have this guy here, very close to Easter Island, and that is a 4.9. Yesterday's from 2143, 10 kilometers down. Sliding over into our New Zealand area, we don't see too much. We do see this one here, Kermadec Ridge, Kermadec Islands, 4.7 from 1157 today, 10 kilometers down for that guy. And looks like everything in the Philippines, or sorry, in the Indonesia and Malaysia is not bad. Papua New Guinea is quiet. Philippines, though, up in here, that might be Philippines. Yeah, it's still Philippines. 5.0, 7:07 a.m., 43.1 kilometers down. This one up here just past Taiwan is in the Japanese island area, 4.4, and 17:05 was the time. 117 kilometers down for that guy. We see this one, smaller one, 4.3 off the coast of Japan, 1724, 10 kilometers down, so nothing too severe there. And looking at this, that'd be in China, 4.9, 3:13 a.m., 10 kilometers down, and all by itself, kind of weird. Looking here, Afghanistan 4.1 from yesterday at 2107, 103.9 kilometers down. And then, of course, the one that Piggy felt here in, what is it, Baconac, Turkey. Bacon and Turkey. Yeah, bacon and turkey. Anyway, that is very close to the island of Kos. There's Kos there, and this is where the quake was, and it being a 4.8, that is sizable, so she definitely felt it out there. And let's see, snow in the forecast tonight for northern Arizona. Oh boy, places like Flagstaff and stuff, eh? The old saying about cobwebs was when someone didn't have sex for a long time, we used to say that you are full of cobwebs. Okay, if you get the joke. All right, yeah, that's weird. All right, let's leave that alone. And Mid-Atlantic Ridge, we looked at these before, 4.7 from 32 minutes after midnight at 10 kilometers down. We're not seeing any more over here in that other hot spot, so kind of weird. But this one, of course, telling us that we've got something moving. Same thing with this one, 4.2 Norwegian Sea, 6:16 a.m., 10 kilometers down. The other one that is of interest, of course, is this one up here, and that was a couple of days ago, and that is a 4.5. And of course, that is the continuation of the mid-Atlantic ridge coming down on the Eurasian side over here. So that's where the line actually would be, and this would interconnect with that spot. If you wrap us up in a globe, of course. So that's kind of what we see there. Real quick peek at, we'll skip the volcano chart since our map, it's really not going to make any difference today. But what we'll do is we'll have a look here real quick in La Palma. Take a look, and we see these are old quakes. I don't need to worry about them. We see the latest one is in between Gran Canaria and Tenerife, and that is just a little guy, 1.4, and that happened just 23 minutes after midnight their time. So they're already in the future. Anyway, here's something that I found a little bit odd. Let's count quakes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 quakes in 24 hours. To me, that is a little bit of an uptick in activity. We don't need to go through all of these. I just want to point that out. That is definitely an uptick in activity. If you want to take a look at this map, I do believe it was La Palma earthquakes, or yeah, I think that's what it is. La Palma EQ, maybe, to bring that map up. Anyway, if you want to have a look, you're more than welcome to do so. The depths of these are ranging between about 4 kilometers and about 16 is the deepest one. So very, very interesting. And Eddie Arturo already leaving. Yeah, there you go. La Palma EQ works, and there's the link to this particular map. And you guys can always have a look at it on your own if you wish to. Thanks, Sue, for bringing that up. All right, on that friendly note, though, it is time to take another break. And after we finish with the break, we will get into the weather. And we'll do it whether or not we like it. And, of course, I don't like the weather. The weather is not happy. I like happy weather. That's always nicer. I do see we have enough lava in that can, so let's leave it there and keep smiling. Be good. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Also, if you're new, hit that subscribe button and give us a little bit of help. We're 3 away from getting to our 100 mark, so if there's anyone in here that hasn't hit that like button, help us out. We're trying to get over that 100. On that note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, the Great White North. I'll be back in about 5 minutes or so. Thanks. And there we go. Microphone is back on. Welcome or welcome back, everyone. I see a few more people are leaving. Kevin Haynes, have a good night. Take care of yourself. Thank you, Sue, for the welcome back. Too much fun, Sue Hayes. Yeah, I guess you were being swung around the dance floor there, Lizoid. And thanks, Sasha, and welcome back, the Dr. Foxy guy that likes to say, Harm, what's going on there? What's going on there? And hey, Trevor, that's the one thing about any one of us that is curious. When we see something, we may go ooh and ah and wow, that's cool, but we also go, hey, what else is going on there? And this is kind of what we want to do. Always ask that question, right? And thanks for the Oink Oink Arizona Snowman. Thank you. And let's get over to our weather, though, and we'll take a look and see what we've got. So SO2 map, I was just looking at that. That's the end of our snow there. It's just about finished. We do have a few flakes now and again, but looks like our snow is going to be done. But then I was looking at this going, oh my God, not again. We've got another 24 hours worth of snow coming on Friday night, Saturday. And not good, not good. What a way to start winter, eh? And that is kind of what it is, though, living here in Alberta. Anyway, I'm not going to dwell over this too much here. We do see some big circulation here in the Pacific. That, of course, is causing the jet stream to dip way low, go up high, and then come back low again. And that is very interesting to see. We don't see anything really, really super bad. A little higher levels of elevation, SO2 in the Rocky Mountains here in British Columbia. Not sure why. Pretty normal in Alberta, and of course Saskatchewan and Manitoba getting a little bit as well, sliding over a bit more. Ontario's got some down on the bottom, of course, where all the industrial stuff is, definitely around the Great Lakes, lots of stuff. Good clean air out in the eastern part of Canada and the northeastern portions of the United States. Looking at the western side here, it seems to be right along the border where we see most of this. But looking pretty clear for the most part, all the way down into Mexico up to about that point that we're seeing on the map here, and clear out in the central states as well, just a bit up in the north, and not anything to worry about anyway. Not super high levels. Florida down on the bottom end looking pretty good. And of course, that is their sunset. Let's look at that sunset. Very good. That's a nice sunset. That has got to be pretty close to, oh no, that's not Acapulco. This is Acapulco. I was going to say got to be close to Acapulco, but off just a bit. Anyway, that plume coming out of there looks like, again, stagnant air for the most part. So Mexico City and Popocatépetl working on making that big red plume, and we see that starting to slide back into the area here in the Gulf of Mexico. We do see that circulation this way. That storm that was out here has made landfall on the Yucatan Peninsula, so it's going to weaken it, and hopefully it won't turn into another storm as it gets off of there and comes up the coastline. We do see down here Central America pushing everything out into the Pacific, so the air currents have changed a little bit again, which is probably okay, and then sliding down through Peru and into Chile. We also see the stuff from Chile going out into the Pacific, and not so much going across the continent into our wonderful Atlantic Ocean there. So sliding over though, looking at New Zealand, very little coming off of, hang on, what volcano is that? I'll think of it. Oh boy. Boy, I lost track of what volcano that is there. Anyway, is it no White Isle? White Island. Yeah, there it is, Sue. White Island. I was going to say White Isle, White Island volcano, and New Zealand. That's actually on its own little island. The volcano itself is the island. So, pretty interesting. Very little here from the refineries around Melbourne. Coking plants up here in north of Sydney still doing their thing. Tofua out here in Tonga still working away. And Yasur in Vanuatu and his buddies there still doing their thing. Normal stuff in Papua New Guinea, Luolatok, Semeru, Merapi, and Krakatau about the same. And Jakarta, of course, is helping out there. Ibu and Dakono still working away, and that is nice. And then when we go zoom in a little bit here, Mayon and Bulusan and this little area here creating some of that. And then we don't know how much is actually coming out of Taal volcano, but we see the darker area here, and that again is people pollution for the most part. And there we see all the red spots here in China as well as Taiwan. That's people pollution industry and stuff like that. We do see this plume here, and that is from Suwanoshi-jima, and this is mainly from Sakura-jima. And then we slide up people pollution for the rest of it until we get up here into our wonderful Kamchatka Peninsula. And again, we've already gone through some of these things up here. This particular one is, this is a different one. Kizimin volcano. That doesn't look like it's erupting, but we know our other ones are doing their job, so I'm not going to worry about them for right now. And let's go and see. India is pretty normal. Let's take a look down on the bottom here. We don't see any weird patterns, anything coming out of there. Been a lot easier going from the stuff that is coming out of South Africa. We do actually see some come out from Cape Town right now. Must be weather conditions or something holding it there. DR Congo, a little bit of a thing going on there. And of course, Erta, the one we looked at the picture of earlier, it lives right about here. And that's what we're seeing. These spots here in Iraq and Saudi Arabia and Kuwait are from, of course, refineries doing their thing. Now, I had, pardon me, I had mentioned it was pretty stagnant air there in Sicily over Etna, and there is the end result. And that is a very high levels and just sitting there, not moving off very quickly at all. So that is what we've got there. It looks like Spain, Portugal, France, England, and Ireland, and those areas are all clear. Not bad in Belgium, and then of course Netherlands, Holland here, not looking too bad. A little bit higher in Germany, but nothing too major. Same thing goes for Denmark, and we are definitely seeing more here in Poland and those areas. And of course St. Petersburg has got a little higher levels there as well. Not too bad from what we're seeing coming off the Kamchatka Peninsula, and that is kind of what we got there. It says 3 degrees there right now. Grindavik coming in at 4. Let's leave that be. That's your SO2 report for today. And we'll go over to the other weather map. We see a nasty high up here highs usually mean cold weather, and in the winter time anyway. And that's what we're seeing there. And of course, we got all kinds of conditions up in these areas with snow and so on, including here in our prairie provinces. That system has moved on and it is now going into Saskatchewan, and Kananaskis country, who's down here, can enjoy that. Anyway, it's showing Edmonton at about -5 degrees Celsius right now. British Columbia up on the northern end, very cold. Down here where C&D boy is, he's got about 5 or 6 degrees or something like that in that area. Sliding over a little bit more, we see Winterpeg is a balmy 13, 14 degrees right now. That's amazing, and that is because of this warm air blowing up past the lakes and getting up into this low. And looking at the bottom end of Ontario, and not too bad. They are higher temperatures than some of the other areas, so 12, 11 there, and down to 9 in Toronto. And then we got 7 degrees in Montreal, and about 4 or 5 degrees there in Quebec. And yes, White Isle, I'm back just making gluten-free sourdough pizza bread for one time in a background. Okay. Gluten-free. I heard glutens taste good, so I don't know. I hope that taste is tasty. Anyway, looking at what we see there in New Brunswick, and they got kind of a cold up in the northern portions, a little bit warmer down in the south, and we are seeing the northern portions back here a little bit warmer than the other side. Actually, about the same, I guess. Looking at about 9 degrees in Halifax. Not sure what Sue's temperature is, but she could bring that up for our Coal Harbor would be cool. And let's see. Oh, hang on, I got a frog on my throat. Ribbon. It must have been because I said Montreal. Anyway, there's Coal Harbor, 8 degrees Celsius. That's not too bad. 10 mile per hour, 16 kilometer per hour winds. Pretty good in that area, so that's not bad. Halifax, like I say, about 8 degrees as well. And looking at Newfoundland, we see some varying temperatures depending on where you are. All the way out here, you've got 8, 9 degrees, and going all the way inland, -3 or so. And Newfoundland, Labrador, not so good up on the top end here, -8, -9, depending on where you are. And let's slide down to the United States. And of course, we see this whole western portion here has got that real cold dip in here, and hopefully that they'll warm up a little bit. They would probably like it. I'm not sure what it is in Seattle, 7, 8 degrees. Portland coming in at about 7. Eugene about 7 as well. Sliding down into California, we can see where the warm air stops, and Redding would be about in the top end here, and Sacramento coming in about 9. Death Valley today, Sue brought it up, comes in at 19 degrees Celsius. Oh my God, that is not very warm. And go find some other place to go die in. Death Valley, too cold, and you'll have to go to Arizona, bottom end of Arizona. 20 degrees in Mexicali, not very warm. 23, 24 in Phoenix, and Tucson coming in about 21, 22. So the northern portions, though, somebody was saying they're going to get some snow. I wouldn't doubt it that they'll get some snow in the higher elevations. And of course, looking at Colorado, we see that the upper elevations here are definitely very cold, and same thing goes for New Mexico, but they do have some heat coming in from down south, so that is really nice. And yeah, wow, did Death Valley drop in temperature? Yeah, it's yeah, put a parka on because you're going to freeze to death. Anyway, looking at fall weather for the most part in Texas and most of central the USA, looking at some reasonably nice temperatures. It's not till you get to the eastern portions around the Great Lakes where we see Detroit only at about 10, 11 degrees. And we see up here in the Appalachians a little bit cooler, but Florida 28 down on the bottom end, and then cools off a bit as you get up into Georgia. Starts getting to be 20, 19, 18, and then you get up in the hills, up in the highlands up here, 13 degrees. Looking at Charlotte, North Carolina, and that is coming in at about 16. And home of Grandma B, right there, 15 degrees Celsius, or around oh, what'd that be? That'd be 59, 60, almost 60, but not that warm, still not that cold. 16 out here in Virginia Beach, going up to New York. We've got about 14 degrees or thereabouts. And then looking at Boston, about 11 degrees. And then you get up into Maine and New Hampshire and those areas, they got 5, 6, 7 degrees. Moving into Central America, there's that storm Lisa, as I was saying earlier. It had made landfall. It actually made landfall right on top of the country of Belize. And hopefully they didn't get anyone washed away or anything like that. Belize out in the islands and the coastal area, in some places, the very, very low-lying land. And, you know, when you're, like Ambergris Key as an example, elevation 4 meters above sea level. So it's not really high up. If you get a big storm surge, you're underwater. Anyway, looking at what we see in the rest of Central America, not too bad. Possibly another low, there it is. I was going to say this circulation, so we'll maybe see another storm in that area. And looking at our evening temperatures for the Amazon, not bad. And all the way down in Argentina, it looks not, pardon me, not bad at all. We got about 18 in Buenos Aires, so Uruguay, not bad, about 13, 14 degrees in some spots, 16, 17 in the warmer areas of Paraguay, 14, 13 in the bottom end. This high, of course, keeping things cold in the bottom end of Brazil. Rio de Janeiro coming in at about 15, and get over to Sao Paulo, and it drops in temperature quite a bit to about 11 degrees. Sliding over a bit more and seeing what we've got in New Zealand and North Island starting to really get nice, warm, and 23, 24 degrees in some spots, and 19 out here in the peninsula, South Island, along the eastern side, doing not bad, beautiful temps. Western side likely getting more rain, but that's also higher elevations, so mountainous area there, it would definitely make sense. Looking at Tasmania, quick peek at Hobart, about 12 degrees. And the coastal area is a little bit warmer than the interior, but that's what we're seeing. Melbourne coming in at 12, 13 degrees. Adelaide about 15, 16, and that area getting up to Sydney, 19 degrees roughly. And looking at home of Oz, Oz has got about 20 degrees Celsius right now. That's not so bad right there. And Perth coming in at about 23, 22, 23 degrees. we see, though the heat is really building up in some of these areas, very nice to see, and that is telling us that their summer is coming. Sliding out a little bit more, looking at our Malaysian, Indonesian, and Philippine area, we do see some reasonable temperatures, but it looks like it's cooler in Bangkok. And Bangkok showing here about 25 degrees Celsius. And what did it come up with? 26 from Sue, thanks. And that is what we've got right there. Not sure what's going on. They do have a high in here now, and that high may warm things up for them. Remember, we had that storm here in the East China Sea. It has now made landfall in China, and it's no longer considered a big storm. We do have some other circulations, this one being one of them, and that is questionable. We'll see what happens in a few days. Japan, bottom end 22, 21 degrees down on the bottom, and coastal areas not bad for the most part. We do see some higher elevations, a little cooler, and then when you get in the north end, of course, the snow belt, and we see that it is 4 or 5 degrees, 6 degrees, depending on where you are. Kamchatka Peninsula actually a little bit warmer today than it was yesterday, and about 3-4 degrees along the bottom end, but gets into the negative temperatures really quickly. And yeah, some of the Siberian stuff here now starting to develop and get colder, and that is always scary. Siberia, you get the cold there. And looking at Cape Town coming in at 15, looks like it did warm up on the southern end of Africa, really good. Omsk coming in at -1 and 30 Fahrenheit. That's pretty cool. Get it? It's cool? Oh, okay. Bad pun. Bad weather pun. 24 and 25 degrees on the western side of Madagascar. Not bad temperatures. So they probably enjoying that. Rolling on the floor. Okay, boom. Yeah, Omsk. And that's always a nice place, Omsk. I've never been to Omsk. Anyway, looking at what we see in getting cooler in Iraq and Syria up here, and of course Saudi Arabia up on the top end, 13-14 degrees. Down on the bottom end, we're still seeing 26, 27 in a couple spots. UAE a little bit cooler as well, down to about 21 on the eastern side and 27 on the western side. Oman still holding in there temperature-wise, but a little on the cool side. Same thing with Yemen. Sliding over and having a look at what Piggy's temperature is, and of course Turkey looks way too cold for me. 5 degrees, and what is it? Ankara, and going up here, Istanbul coming in at 15. But Piggy's Island of Kos. Yes, we know what that is. Kananaskis country. We get it, and that is all right. For those who didn't, they now know, and there you go. Anyway, looks like about 20 degrees Celsius there on the island of Kos, and we get that. It's not too bad. Looking at the island of Sicily, again, coastal areas are still holding some heat, but the interior is definitely cooling off a bit. The soles of the boot of Italy are warmest. I guess it's because of the friction and that it causes when you're walking with them. And a lot cooler in the higher elevations, and the further north you go, the cooler it gets. Only 14, 15 in Milano today. And of course, looking at New Irish Monkland, and we see 16, 17, 18 degrees around the coastal areas. You got to remember this is nighttime temperatures, and the interior here anywhere from about 10 to I guess about 14 degrees for the most part. Looking at what we're seeing here in Portugal, and very close to the 10, 11 degree mark, a little warmer in the bottom end of Spain, a little cooler in the highlands up in the north here. The mountain range here, of course, very cold. We do see some warm air coming into the western side of France, keeping things a little bit more manageable. But you see colder climate coming in from the eastern side, and that's going up into Germany as well, and all those good places. So Luxembourg actually down to 7, 8, 9 degrees depending on where you are there, and Belgium looking at 12, 13 along the coast, and the interior a lot cooler. Nancy Buchanan, here's some for your Pepsi Fund, Doc. Thank you very much, Nancy Buchanan. And let me write that down. Nancy Buchanan. There we go. And thank you very kindly for that super chat. I do appreciate the support, Nancy. That's awesome. And sliding up a little bit more, looking at Denmark, we're seeing not bad temperatures. Actually, it looks like it's warmer than what we've got in places like Berlin and Hamburg, and even Copenhagen coming in at about 10. So 9, 8 up on the top here, 10 along the coastline, and not bad. And Sweden and Norway, pretty normal for this time of year. 7 there in Oslo, 8 over in Stockholm, Helsinki, Finland, 7 degrees. St. Petersburg, or Leningrad, if they call it that anymore. Anyway, 4 degrees Celsius. Moscow coming in at -2. Riga at about 9. And there we go. Looking at England, looks like Wales is a little on the cooler side, and the bottom end of England here is a little bit warmer, so 13 degrees showing here for London. And remember, we had those 3 lows sitting here, and not sure where one of them disappeared to. Here's a bit more for inflation. Why, thank you very kindly, Nancy. That is awesome. And I'll write that down as well. Thank you kindly for your donations there. I really do appreciate it. And looking at the northern end of Scotland, the coastal area is a little bit warmer, but the interior looks very cold. And of course, old Irish Monkland coming in at about 7, 8 degrees, and maybe 9 degrees down there in Doolin. And that is what we've got happening there. Quick peek at what we've got in Iceland, and yeah, that other low here is helping draw down some of that cold air, and we don't like it. Anyway, looking at Reykjavik coming in at about 2 or 3 degrees, and the entire peninsula here, the Reykjanes Peninsula, showing in about 2 to 3 degrees as well. So kind of all the same in that area. Let's move over really quickly to our precipitation, and I got to do that fairly fast. I got to have a drink of Pepsi though, since that is what we're doing. And give me a second here. That's good stuff. Fine vintage. Okay, so having a quick look, and there's that snow that has passed us, and the 24 hours worth of snow, and that is now gone. I'm happy, and I'm not sure where the next batch is coming from, but I hope that just keeps going. We do see this stuff up here in Alaska, and of course this big shear line and the low sitting there, so likely going to create more stuff in Alaska and come down on top of us. Looking at what we see over in Baffin Island and those areas, lots of snow up there. Fairly clear in most places, though. We see northern Ontario and northern or central Manitoba and northern Ontario getting ice rain. Ice rain can be really, really nasty out in the eastern portions of Canada. For those who have never experienced it, it can be really wild. I remember as a kid living down here in Stratford, Ontario, and it rained so much in the night that we had about 2-inch coating. That's about 5 centimeters of ice on everything. People could not get into their automobiles because they were frozen shut. We basically strapped on skates and skated down the roads or skated down the sidewalks, and you basically got around that way. So pretty cool. I don't go out in the ice rain, too dangerous. And Sue, it is. It's horribly dangerous. Lots of people don't understand. If you've got 2 inches of ice rain on your car, any branch that you see hanging in any tree will have 2 inches of ice on it as well. And think about the weight. If you're in a treed area, you better be careful because those branches can come down. The whole tree can come down. And that is very, very dangerous. I've seen a lot of them come down, branches broken off, and it makes a heck of a racket too when they break because it's all ice, so you hear all the ice cracking, and very scary. Anyway, looking at Newfoundland, they're getting some snow. Doesn't look like there's snow for most of Nova Scotia or anything happening in New Brunswick or PEI. We see this storm here, what I thought was going to develop into one. It is now called Martin, and that is definitely there on the books. Sliding down, here's our friend Lisa, and that came in here and snuggled along the edges and has made a landfall in Belize. And we'll see the next one possibly down here somewhere. There's another low there, but this one might be too close to the land already to turn into a secondary storm. We do see some stuff here in the northern portions of the Amazon, so that would be Venezuela and Colombia, and then of course portions of Brazil and French Guiana, and that area. Also see this plume from all this stuff coming in here from the Atlantic, this big high pushing it in and causing a big ridge here. There's got to be another high sitting in here somewhere, this high, but there's got to be one in this area somewhere as well, helping to kind of squish that pattern together. And you can see where the dividing line is, so it's right around here that everything meets up, creating that storm on the land. All the way down on the bottom end, we've got highs on either side, a couple of lows in the middle here. So not bad weather for those good people in Argentina and the bottom end of Chile, and not getting too much moisture. A little bit of ice rain once you get further south, and the snow, more ice rain out here in the, I guess that'd be the Arctic Ocean for the most part. And here's what's happening in New Zealand, and no wonder we got some big temperature shifts. Warm along that edge, the eastern side and the western side, of course, getting hit with mix of warm and cold air, cooling off a little bit, and that causes a lot of that moisture to come out of the air and hit the land, and that's what we're seeing. Same thing kind of goes for this ridge here that we are seeing in the North Island of New Zealand. Poor guys down here in I'm starting to notice it's quite wet down here in Tasmania. Hobart, not getting any rain right now, but they do have a fair amount of rain there in the other portions. Melbourne, I think Leo has been doing too much barbecuing. He's getting rained out all the time. Very little rain in the other portions of Australia, nothing up by Brisbane. We don't see anything until we get way up in the northern portions. And going out here by where Tofua is, out here in Tonga, looks like they've got some rain coming past them. Fiji looks like it's going to get some storming happening there as well. And of course, looking at what we've got, Vanuatu is getting some rain there as well. Normal stuff in our Papua New Guinea and Indonesia for the most part. We do see this nasty circulation here, and I don't know if that's going to turn into another storm, but we see it there, and it's messing up a lot of the coastline. And all over, I mean, really in that whole area getting pretty nasty. And there's Nalgay. It did hit right in on Hong Kong, and there's Hong Kong right there. So it's actually on the other side of the bay, but yeah, it's still doing a pretty nasty job on that. Sliding up, not looking too bad in most of Japan. Up in the northern portions, they've got some of the rain coming off of the Sea of Japan, but a little bit of snow up in the northern portion as well. And this area does get quite a bit of snow, so it's not unusual to see that there. We do see that low up in here. It's definitely helping with some of that weather. And then this high circulating the other way is pushing moist air in and up onto the Kamchatka Peninsula, and that is what we're seeing swirling around up here. So pretty nasty, and I'm not sure if they didn't name this guy yet. They will soon. I'm sure that's going to turn into a really nasty tropical storm here. And looking at the other ones, little lows, nothing major. Little bit of rain in Madagascar, South Africa getting some rain. They probably welcome that. Same thing with the guys here, possibly Tanzania and those countries. A little bit of rain moving through. This side, of course, being where the Congo and the jungle area is, and that's kind of what we see. And nothing in the Sahara Desert for the most part. We don't see too much. And it looks like a little bit of rain down the southern portions of Iraq. And Iran has a system and a low coming across it. I'm not sure which way that is moving. And hard to tell, really hard to tell. Yeah, it's kind of every which way. You know, when you're looking at it, it really doesn't look like it's, it looks like it's going to stall out there for a while. Anyway, looking for weather for Piggy to see if she's going to get any rain. And we do see some rain over here in Usak, Turkey, but not, I don't think that's going to make it over here. So no rain for her for now. And looking at what we've got in Italy, up here by Milano, we got a bunch of fog and some rain just south of that. Bologna has got a little fog as well, and some rain from there out to the coast. And looking at Portugal and Spain, just on the corner here, we see those shear lines. Of course, we got some warm air being pushed up, and these lows up here bringing in that cold air, and again causing some moisture to be dropped. Same thing goes for the edge of France. Looks pretty much dry in Germany and Luxembourg and Belgium and most of Holland and even most of Denmark are looking pretty dry, as well as seeing a little bit of rain here in Poland, and not too bad. But the big rain stuff yet to come, and that is coming out in all these areas. So right now, Scotland is getting nailed, and we're going to see that warmer area. That's why it was warmer. We see that updraft, or the Gulf airstream pushing through there, and that is what's causing the rain in that area. It's warmer, but it's raining. And of course, old Irish Monkland and Doolin might be getting some rain there. I don't know, maybe it's in a dry spot. A little bit of hit and miss there with the rain patches, but that low definitely doing its thing. There's the other low. Oh, here's the third one. So all three are still showing on here, and it looks like there's a fourth low up on the northern portions of Iceland as well, throwing some snow and pulling cold air down. They need to get rid of that real quick. And seeing what we've got in Sweden and Norway, and a little bit of snow mixed in, ice rain over here in Finland. That's not so bad. Could be worse. Okay, that's kind of it for what we've got going on there. Quick peek back at our temperatures, and we want to see the coldest temperature on the planet. And I think we will take a look down here in Antarctica. And Antarctica is always a cold lady. I see minus 56 right off the bat. And that is the coldest one there. We'll see if there's anything colder. Oh, hang on. I seen it. It was minus 57 in here. There it is. Minus 57 degrees Celsius. Do we have anything colder than a minus 57? And no, I don't see it. So, yep, that's all I got for today. Minus 57 degrees Celsius. Sue Hayes from minus 56. Way to go, Sue. And awesome. And I'm glad I beat you for a change. Thanks, Sue, and love the fact that you participate and bring that up. That is always awesome. Okay, we'll leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to wrap it up, and I want a searchiest for the coldest. Yeah. Yeah, it's always bad when you go to look for cold temperatures. And anyway, good night, Philomena, and good night to actually everyone in here. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you are watching VolcanoX live stream. We're going to wrap it up for today. I want to say a big thank you to our wonderful people that have helped out and supported the stream here. Just got to make sure our canned lava is still good. Give me a second. And I got to dump that back just a little, and there we go. And no, that's not quite enough. There we go. So thank you to Grandma B for that one membership gift, Kevin Haynes also for that one membership gift, and then Linda Schoof, and two super chats from Nancy Buchanan. Thank you very much to all of you for your wonderful support. Also, a big thank you to each and every one of you who has hit that like button, each and every one of you that has been in here doing your thing. We do appreciate each of you, and really glad that you come and watch the stream. So thank you, everyone. Basically, that's it for tonight. Thanks to Arizona Snowman, Piggy, CND Boy, and possibly 24/7 Live. He's at Skies Gary, and Lucas Snow, and Joseph Fields in the background, possibly. And thank you, moderators. I do appreciate all of you, and you have done great work as usual. And keep smiling and be good, be kind, everyone. And thank you, everyone, and that is part of that lava family. Whether you're a member or not, you're still part of our wonderful group here, and it is appreciated. And that's it. So stay warm, stay safe, and most of all, please, please, tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, the Great White North. Take care, everybody, and have a super night or day. Oink, oink. Good night.